Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Whatto? Welcome back to another exciting adventure of Complete Truth. I'm your host, Travis Finley. Alright, so I was streaming a little bit ago for like a half an hour, and the music that you hear right now with the solfeggio. Let me go back and listen to it. Alright, so I was streaming a little bit ago for like a half an hour, and it's kind of weird. I can hear. I feel like I can hear like a feedback. Can you guys hear a feedback? Like this ambient, like this white noise. That's what I mean. I wonder if it's my fan. I'm going to turn my fan off. I gotta turn off this stupid mic. Hey, it's been a while. Hey, it's been a while. Yeah. I thought I turned off the mic and I didn't. Okay, it's been a while. I don't even know. I gotta figure out. Let me listen to the feedback to the playback because I feel like there's this extra ambient noise. Hold on. Okay, so it looks like I got everything finally situated, and shouldn't have any more feedback, any more blah blah blah. Turn on the desktop. There's that. The desktop's ready to go. Music's off. Okay, let's start over again. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another exciting adventure of It's a Wonderful Day in This Neighborhood, a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Yeah, so what you're watching right here is a hydrofoil guy. He was getting ready to suiting up before I was going to leave, and I said, hey, you want me to film you? So I took some footage of him and emailed it to him. I think it's pretty cool. This is the same day that I'm going to be publishing today. This is day 4.3, so it should be January 28, 2019, and so anyway, I had streamed for like a half an hour before, and I had the desktop audio was going, and the music in the background from Solfeggio was going, and I just crisscrossed and thought that I had muted the desktop audio. Forgot about the Solfeggio background music, and so that was playing over the top. So it was, the music was louder than my volume, and so everything I said was just so starting over. And there we go. So here we go. This is taken from Emmawood State Beach, January 28. And this is not what you can see with your naked eye. This is what is basically available once the camera is turned on. Okay. So what I'm going to do right here is pull out my pointy downward pointing finger. Alright, this is my troll. You see my troll right here? This is some driftwood. I didn't go down and investigate this personally. I should have. I don't know why I didn't think about that. But there's some crazy driftwood. I made a meme out of this for Brenda Vanderbilt, Van Rothschild, somebody. Brenda and Eddie. We're the poppy of the steady and the king and the queen of the prom. Alright, so anyway, there's my neighborhood troll right there that I did not notice until the end of the trip, pretty much. And out here is... what's going on? Bogan Alsherud and I.A. Young. Flat Earth Data. What's going on? I can see you. Thanks. Thanks for being here, everybody. And yeah, so right here you can just barely see a wisp. Just a wisp right here underneath that index finger pointing down. That is the platform Gilda right there. That should be about what you can see with your naked eye. So this very first week was just horrible conditions. Just absolutely no good. So murky, so soupy, so chemtrailed out the wazoo that it was just horrible conditions. So I was pretty disappointed this first week and decided to stay a second week. And the very next day, the day that I should have been back in Maryland, the very next day, I got the Fata Morgana from the Garden of Allah. It was just absolutely spectacular. But that's a few days in the future with my footage here, so we're just going to jump into what I've got here from day 4.3. Alright, so this is platform Gilda. Going to do some file information here. We got 321. See, somebody told me when I the full... I'm lazy, okay? I'm just going to say it. I'm lazy. Dr. Law. Long time. Yeah, I know, right? Long time. There we go. SE Montreal in the house. Viewing in infrared. I have an IR camera later on that I borrowed from BMLSB 69, and I do have some infrared footage, so we're just gonna have to wait till we get to that. So what I said in my previous stream that nobody showed up for, but I'm glad all you guys are here. Just to let you know, I'm 10 subs away from 2,000. So let's share the show and kick it up to 2,000, right? What I was saying before was I fell off the edge of the earth in the past couple of months since I got back, and I did about 4 days of review stream, and then I just stopped. I just lost my joie de vivre. Don't know where it went. What I had said in the previous stream that was totally botched because I forgot about the audio was that basically, I'm 2 years divorced, and it's still pretty tough. It's still pretty emotional because all of my kids are in the house that I used to be married in. That's just a crazy idea to think about. And my oldest 3 children aren't talking to me. My oldest got married in October. I was not invited to the wedding, and I was just thinking about that yesterday again. And that's like, you can't redo that. You know, that's gone. That's in the past. That is like a bridge over troubled waters. Anyway, the past couple of months, I have just had no ambition. But today I woke up and I felt a little bit different. No idea why, but here I am. Here I am. Okay? Yeah, well, you know, I'm glad for you, Dr. Law. 6 years divorced happily. Well, I'm waiting for that happily to come back around, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, enough about my emotional status. Here we go. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, SE Montreal. Okay, this is for you as well. When you turn on your camera, right? When you turn on your camera, you do not see. This is not to scale. This is basically when you turn on your camera, it goes into the negative. If you were to zoom in, that would be interesting for me to find out what measurement on the focal length would be what I see with my naked eye. When I shoot my videos and I go in and then I'll pause, what I can see, Allie B is in the house. Allie B, this is for you. You called me out yesterday. You said, like, Travis, bro, live stream. So here I am. And maybe I will open it up. I've got the Zoom ready to go. All I need to do is start the meeting. But I kind of wanted to get through some stuff, so maybe I'll try to get through some stuff, and then whatever I say might inspire some hangout discussion. So all that good stuff. Back to you, SE. I can't remember. Can you put it in the chat whether or not you have the P900? What's the camera that you use? I can't remember. I know that you did get a new tripod. Anyway, with the P900, when you open it up and it starts out at its opening settings, it is not to scale. Okay, it is in the negative. So this is not what you would see with your naked eye. Okay. So can't remember where I was going with that. Oh, the other thing that I was going to say was, okay, right. So in this photo here, it says that this is 321 millimeters. But the full optical zoom, SE Montreal, you'll get used to it if you do have the P900. You'll get used to it when you zoom in. Yeah, okay. When you zoom in, you'll get used to when it's going to reach its maximal optical zoom. And when you do that on video, you don't have the metadata right here, right? The metadata for the focal length is not in the video, but in the stills it is. But I was told by someone when I relayed this message or this information to them that it can't be true that this is the actual focal length. So when you zoom in all the way, right before it goes into digital, that is 428 millimeter. Okay, that's what your metadata is going to read. I have not investigated because I am LAZY. I ain't got no alibi. I'm lazy. I'm just not going to look it up. But it would be interesting. The focal length is what, 2000 zoom, or 2000 times, right? 2000 times. But what's the millimeter length on that? I don't know. It could be accurate. The guy who responded, I think it was either Terry Davies or John Watson or some other baller knucklehead. And basically he said, I don't think that's right when you say that it's 428. But all I can say is that when I go to my stills, we'll just see what happens in the next one. I don't even know. This is a movie. All right, we'll go back to that. That's 33 millimeter. That's 152. Alexander Lightwater, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. That's a movie. I guess 357. Let's see if I get any 428s. I'll go back to these. There we go. This is 428. Okay. Actually, this is just a little. This is a little push right there. Just a little push into the optical. Okay. So this is zoomed. Like if I were to open this up in what you would see with your naked eye, this would be very small. Okay. So this says 428 millimeter. What that means is this is the limit I reached in the zoom on my camera before it goes to digital. It was at optical, and right before it crosses over that aspect ratio 3.2, I have or 3.2. I have no idea what that means. No idea. Thanks, Ali B. I can't remember how long ago that was that I was on Ranties. I guess it was just a couple days ago, but yeah. It was good to be back on and talking the talk. And like I said, after this stream, we'll see what happens. I can maybe pull up something. So right here, I'm going to start this. This is 26 minutes, but I'm going to put it up at 8 times, and I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to. Okay, so here we go. So let's do this real quick with my downward pointer, right? So right here, you have an inferior mirage going on. Inferior mirage. You've got a duck bill here with the machinery with the cranes, right? You've got a duck bill here. And my position, let me see if I can find my other pointer. Here we go. Hold on. I'm going to put this one off. Okay. Pointer. What the heck? There we go. All right, bringing this over here. Okay, right here. Okay. Right there where my finger is pointing is the vanishing line. Okay, everything below that vanishing line is there physically. We just can't see it. So that mirrored image here, right? I'm going to put the finger there. Pull my finger. Okay, so we have a physical obstruction right there. You cannot see what's behind the finger. However, what is behind the finger is the extension of water to the base of the platform. The platform, you know what I mean? Guys, come on. Ali B, you were talking about being on Ranties the other day, and I said this to Rumpus, I'll say it again. You have no field experience, bro. You know what? You know what's going to be funny, Ali, and everybody else, is that when Rumpus goes out and does field duty, he's going to throw that fucking 250-page book that he wrote out the door. He's going to throw it out the fucking door. I will bank my channel on that right there. This is not to scale, everybody. Okay, this whole image right here, you cannot know what this scale is. No way! Impossible! That's imposs. So where my finger is pointing right now, let's just pretend that that's lined up with the vanishing line that cuts through the image there with the erect image, as Andrew Thomas Young calls it, the erect image, and then the mirrored image below. Everything below that index is a mirage, even where my index is. Okay, that sky, the sky all the way across here, everything below my finger, I can't stay steady. All of that below this finger, is a mirage. The sky below the finger is a mirage. That is not, when you're looking out, like if the platform were not here and all you had was water and then sky, the space above the water is not physical. Okay, we only know the what is that? How would you say that? X, Y, and Z axis, right? So let's see. Let me think about this. Z, X, and Y. What's X and Y? X and Y is up and down, right? Horizontal and vertical, okay? And X and Y, Z. Z is going to be distance, right? Z is the distance to the platform, right? So let's just call, I can't remember which is which. Y. This is the Y axis, the lateral axis right here. Right there. See that? Right there? Okay, let me try to get back to what I was thinking about. What was I thinking about? Shinola. Oh, because we have the image of the platform here with an inferior mirage, we can demarcate the vanishing line. We can see where it happens. I'm telling you, everyone out there, you cannot scale this. Oh yeah, there's actually 73.5 feet of this platform missing. No, you cannot deduce that from this image. No. And if you were to crunch your numbers and say, well, I just crunched the maths and it's 73.5 feet just missing. Okay, you can't validate that with the image. Okay? You understand that, correct? Simply because you can crunch the math, you have no way of validating it. In my opinion, because you cannot validate your maths, smurf your maths. Smurf them. Okay? So, back to what I was saying before. If you did not have the platform here, you wouldn't know where the sky began and the mirage, you wouldn't know where the sky ended and the mirage began. Does the mirage start here? Here? Where's the mirage? If there were no image here, you wouldn't know. You would think that right here, you're looking at sky. But you're not. Right there is the aether band. Everybody drink. Right here is the aether band. You only know there's an aether band there because you've got a physical image, inferior miraged, on itself. If this were gone, you wouldn't know that there were an ether band here. This is the band right there from right there to the surface of the water is the band of refraction that totally throws a wrench in everything good and holy. Okay, I have to pee so bad. So what I'm going to do right now is play this, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Enjoy. I'm going to put this there. Put this there. I'm going to play some solfeggio while you guys are watching, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm a little bit constrained because I want to have a discussion with you guys. What's going on, Maria? New Jersey Jeep Girl, everybody out there. And let's see, what's that? Yo Channon Man? Yeah, Channon. Sorry, I just butchered your name. Ali B, Dr. Law, Flat Earth Data, and New Jersey Jeep Girl, which is Maria. Thanks for being here. Let's see if I by any chance broke it's almost my birth time. Think of your birthday, okay? Think of your birthday and then make it a time. So my birthday is April 28th. Right now it is 4:28. So it's my birth time. Happy birth time to me. Happy birth time to me. Happy birth time, dear the plain truth. Happy birth time to you. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to see. I'm gonna reload the page and see. I'm still at 199,000. I mean 100. I mean 1,990. I need 10 more subs, people. 10 more subs. Addie, what's going on, Addie? Good to see you, Gabriel. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I need 10 more subs. Look at this crazy. Look at that. Would you look at that? Look at that dynamic. Just beautiful. Just okay. So okay. Stop. Okay. So in case you haven't heard me say this before, okay, everything here where my finger is pointing, this is all physical water. This can be affected by the aether band. It can be elevated and magnified, or it can be lowered and diminished. Okay, I have no idea which is which right now because this is just crazy shit. But if you'll notice, right at the place where the horizon is, you've got this little hiccup right here. You see that line underneath the very top image of the swell that's going across? These swells are moving from right to left all the way across. Okay, that is a physical swell. That is a physical swell. That is, it is higher than this swell right here, and it is farther back, but it's higher. So you see where this swell ends right here, right? Okay, so how about this shit? Wow, right? Okay, when we talk about perspective, here at the bottom is closer to me, moving farther away, farther away, farther away, farther away. Right here is where the magic happens. Right there is where the aether band. Well, the ether band is everywhere, right? It's in the entire field of view. But come on, right here. You gotta have a term for everything. This image right here, this little blip, this little section of a swell is what is physically there. Okay? It's physically there. And it is raising its head above the disclosing line. I call this the disclosing line. So I can't remember where I was going with this. Where was I going with this? Oh, you know, this is so crazy. Okay, because I'm gonna put my finger, gonna block. All right, hold on. Okay, let's just say for kicks and shiggles that right there. No, I gotta try to make it a little bit better. I got right so hard to get this thing all scaled up. Right there. Okay, everything behind my finger right there, that finger is the mirage. Let's just say it's the obstruction. If the obstruction were not there, all right, we would see this water extend to the platform. But you're not going to get the perfect water. I mean, look at how high this crane is. That is not to scale, people. That is not to scale. This whole image is whacked. But what's crazy is this whole image is like right there, right where my finger's pointing. That's the whole. So that image right there is like a hologram. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. I have no idea where I'm going with this, but here we go. All right, let me see what's going on in the chat. I don't know. I don't want to know what you're talking about, Allie. Or USC. What the hell are you guys talking about? All right, so here's this, and I'm gonna speed it up. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. I'm gonna put my pointer at the water line, and we'll see if it changes. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. And we're gonna go up to, I don't remember. So, let's see. I didn't mute my mic, did I? Okay. I am going to open up a panel for you guys to jump on. If you want to jump on and have a discussion, I would like it to be around optics and perspective. So, ether bandy kind of things. Right? There's so much, man. This is so... Look at this. Let's go back. All right, so look here in the foreground, right there, right? So right here, this swell right here, you know, what's the distance from this swell to right here? And then what's the distance from right here to right here? You know, we have to know that shit. Listen, guys, we need to get somebody, okay, we need to get off of YouTube and out onto the field, okay? Whoever's going to do it, I would love to do it. I would absolutely love to get out on the field and do this, but it can't be done on without support. It cannot be done without being sponsored. It can't be done without a GoFundMe, whatever. Okay, so think about what it is to the cost of living for a year. Let's just say $50,000. That's moderate. That's reserved. Because I can't do this on my own, so I would have to have someone out in a boat, maybe 2 or 3 people, 4 people, 5, 2 or 3 boats out at different directions, right? Because there are numerous platforms here in the Channel Islands, and if you focus on one platform at 9 o'clock in the morning, something a few miles away at a different tangent is going to give you a completely different effect. Okay? You know what I mean? And you won't know what that is unless you've got somebody out there. This is a huge endeavor. Huge. This is not going to be dealt with on my stream, Ranty's stream. This has got to move out of this and find some philanthropist out there who has money to throw away. Okay? Everyone within the sound of the sultriness of my voice right now. Somebody knows somebody. 6 degrees. Somebody knows somebody who can throw out $500,000 to fund a research on this. Okay, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. The one thing that happened this week was the first week I was out was just crazy. Like this image that you see right here with Gilda and the water, this was constant throughout the whole day. This did not change. So it was very, very monotonous. I was like, come on, change already. But it didn't this whole first week. And a lot of the dynamism didn't happen until the very next day. If you haven't heard me say this, I was supposed to leave on a Friday and get home in Maryland on a Saturday. I think it was Thursday. I decided to stay. And Saturday, smurfing, money shot. Smurfing, money shot. Welcome to the show, Troy. All right. I don't know what this. What the speed is? What speed am I at? All right, going up to 8. Hold on. Now it's not catching up. Shinola. Here's 4 time. There's 8 time. This is 8 time zoom. I'm watching it right now. Look at those swells. So you know what's interesting is that okay, in these instances, like in the you know what? I'm gonna show the video that okay, so what I originally intended to do was to show this video. Okay, everybody, you're gonna have to watch this, okay? You have to watch this. Let me see what's going on with notifications. Anything? No, nothing really. Okay, go here. I'm gonna play this. Why is it all blue? Okay, so this is the video I put together. Shinola. Poop and a half. Videos should have one. Here we go. Okay. Hopefully this will play nicely. I meant to download this and I just didn't do it in enough time. So we're just going to stream it right now. The music that's being played on this is a cover of the Rush song La Something Something. Can't remember. I'd never heard the song before. Oh, there it is. La Via Strangiato. La Via Strangiato. Alright, so here's this. I'm going to go on mute for myself. And let me do that. Hold on. I'll bring this over here so I can see what's going on in the chat while the video plays. I'm going to have to put on the desktop audio. Let's see. Here we go. You guys ready? You guys need to watch. Okay, watch. This is a presentation. Here we go. All right, so I'm jumping in real quick to push this on pause because unless you've been following this on the video, the Santa Cruz Island has been developing this whole time right over here, right? So in the previous images, the base of the platform was diminished. Like you couldn't see this much. And this whole island here, you know, it's not even. This is a mirage. I mean, this is not to scale. Okay, you're going to see that in the very last video that comes up with this. Is absolutely majestic, but this is all murky. This is just a hazy day, just a hazy, ugly day. Excuse me. But if you go back and watch this, actually, I'm going to premiere this tomorrow morning, but as a 10-minute video. So if you go back and watch this, watch right here, watch this develop, okay? And it's pretty amazing. All right, going to go back to the video with Rush cover. All right, all right, all right. I just gotta pull this up right here. This is, I'm not gonna play this, but let me go. Minute 33, right? Of course, 33 minutes. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph. This concert is amazing. This was so good. I remember, I don't even remember how I came across Triumph when I was a kid, but it was still when there were cassettes. And I absolutely fell in love with what they had released on the radio. And I bought 2 albums. And if I can remember the tapes that I got, I think one was Allied Forces and the other one was Play the Game, I think, or something like that. But, phew, Triumph. Triumph was so good. So good. There's so many good things out that, yeah, so many good stuff. All right. Oh, yeah? Addie, you like Triumph? Sweet. Let's see. What am I going to do? I was gonna go back to that video, right? Go back to the video. No, not that one. Oh, it was on here. Let me go back. Let's see where it started. I can't remember where I was. I remember thinking something, and then I can't remember what I was gonna say. Let's go back. Oh, I can't remember. Oh yeah. Okay, so watch the crane right here. Unless this is not the video that I was watching. There was one video I was watching earlier today where the crane was absolutely going crazy. Okay, so just think about this too, right? So this crane is, this platform is about 12 miles away, and this island is 8 miles farther out. So if you think about the scale, right, this is so, imagine how high this would have to be higher than this at 20 miles. And yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, all of this stuff has to be rethunk, which is why my email address on this channel is Rethink the Curve. This stuff has got to be rethunk. I have to pee again. It's been a while since I've bearded up. Yeah. You know what? It's pretty crazy. The music of triumph is really triumphant. You know, hold on, lay it on the line. There are so many other songs that are just really positive, and Rick Emmett's voice is just absolutely crazy. So, what am I going to do right now? I am going to drop this. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to play this for you. This is a completely different day. I have to go to the bathroom again, so I'll be right back. I have to drop this back a little bit. Let's see. Put that on that. Bring up some of this. And I'll be right back. I mean, honestly, there's so much that has to be covered here. This is just absolutely crazy. All right, so I am going to open up a meet for Zoom, and I'll put that in the chat. And if you want to join, go ahead and join. That way, I'm not the only one flapping my lips here. Join with that, and okay. How do I? What the crack? It's been a while since I've done this. Where the heck is the add peoples? Where'd that go? Record, share screen, chat, participants. Why doesn't it show me invite? There it is. It's not the usual thingamajiggy. Copy link. Copy link. And here it comes. Into the Chatterinsky. Alright, feel free to join if you can. There is the link for the show. I mean, just look at this. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? I mean, look at that. That's crazy, right? Like, what is this? Like, what is this part right here? You know, right here is where the vanishing line is. Okay, right? Okay, hold on. Right? So this object that you see right here, okay, I'm zoomed in. But if you were looking at this with your naked eye, you wouldn't have enough detail to see what's going on here. But right here in the middle is where the fold line is. Fold line. Right here in the middle is right where the fold line is, right where the mirage starts. So that means that everything up here is physical. Everything down here is not visibly physical, but there is physical reality behind it. This is what's so fucking crazy, guys. Okay? Right there, everything below the finger is a mirage. Right there, everything right here. Everything right there. I'm not paying attention if anybody's joined. Anybody joined? Nope. All right, just in case you didn't see it, I put the join in the chat there. All right. Turn my volume up. Really? Okay. Check. Let me see if maybe my no, I think my mic should be okay. So, Addie, you said, can I turn my volume up? But I've been at the same setting this whole time, so maybe I haven't seen you make mention of that. So that's where it is. I just kind of upped it a little bit. Hopefully that's good enough. Is that good enough for you? So yeah. So this whole thing right here, you know, this part that's up here, I would think that somehow it's getting projected out. There's nothing physical there. There's nothing physical there. It's possible that there's something physical here. It's possible, but we would have to see how it develops. Addie says, physical reality behind it, quantum mechanics. You are seeing the dividing line from observed and not observed. The point of separation and the point of separation in superposition. All right. Good, good. You tried, but you'll try again. It's funny. I don't know. I didn't hear the ding dong. So I don't know if I have to set that up every single time. Oh, there we go. Here you are. SE Montreal. SE Montreal. Can you hear me, brother? I think I can hear you. SE Montreal right now.
Can you hear me, bro?
Here we go. Here we are.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, bro. Good to see you back.
I tell you what, man. I have just been deflated. I've been deflated. I don't know if you heard me talk a little bit about it before. I didn't want to really rehash it. I kind of got into it a little bit in the first time I went live. I kind of opened up a little bit and talked about being depressed and whatnot. And I have just not had the joie de vivre, if you know what I mean.
I hear you, bro. Sorry to hear that.
Well, you know, today, yeah, I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. Today felt a little bit different. It was weird, you know, like the barometric pressure had changed.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that. We shouldn't let this shit get to us, you know.
Well, you know, it's yeah, it's hard to really pinpoint what it is. I think really, like I said earlier, in terms of my life situation right now, 48 years old, divorced 2 years, my kids are not with me, and my oldest 3 are not talking to me, and my youngest 2 don't want to talk to me, like quote unquote talk. It's like being with a woman who, and everything's superficial, right? What I mean is I'm talking about my 2 youngest kids. My 2 youngest kids, you know, we get together, we do things together, but it's so superficial because I can't cross the line. I can't, like, share my world with them because of just the baggage that's there. So I think that is my issue in life. It's not necessarily flat earth. It's not necessarily, you know, whatever happens in chats and streams and things like that. But it's just my situation in life that has just been crazy. So anyway, like I said, today felt a little bit different. I thought, you know what, damn it, I'm gonna man up and go live. And Ali B called me out yesterday on his stream. I'm like, I can't get called out by Ali B and then not do anything, right?
That's the spirit, bro. Shout out to Ali B.
Shout out to Ali B. Yeah, that's right. Ali's awesome. So listen, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with your camera and what's going on with you?
Yeah, since I got this camera, Travis, around New Year's, I've been dying to take it out. Obviously, I had to wait a few months. And now, every chance I get, it's either cloudy or it's raining. It's really pissing me off. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, excuse my language.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a fantastic weekend last weekend, and I got some really, really good contrasts over the whole day. I went out at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and sunrise or sunset. And when I was downloading my stuff, one of the windows dropped out, so I thought my download was over. So then I trashed the folder because that was on my SD card. So once my SD card empties onto my hard drive, I deleted off the SD card. So I thought everything was good. I screwed it up. I lost some fantastic images last weekend. But today I went out and it's just shit. It's the chemtrails. It's like, dude, it's like walking into a room of smokers. You know?
And Travis, I had the same thing here. I didn't think that it was the same here over the skies of Montreal, but I even took a picture. I have a video of one. Tell me something. Was it you that did that zoom up of that plane?
I did a still shot on my community page. Is that what you mean?
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a video. I'm just curious, throwing it out there. The plane that I saw seemed to have like a stripe, a red stripe on it.
Yeah. I've
Keep that
gotten.
in mind next time.
Yeah. I've got a lot of those. I haven't really published any of that stuff just because I've got so much stuff to publish, dude. But yeah, I've gotten some really interesting images where I think this is what I posted on that community post was, obviously we think that it's a plane, right? We think that it's a plane. When we see it, okay, so here's the relativity of it all. The relativity of it all is that with my naked eye, it looks like a freaking plane. But when you zoom in and it looks distorted and broken up, like the image that I put up, you have the fuselage, and then you've got a space, and then you've got the tail, right? Why is there a space there that's not continuous with the entire image when I can show you images of other airplanes and jet airliners where it looks complete and whole? It doesn't look weird. It looks like you've just simply zoomed in on a plane. But the image that I put up there in the still shot, that does not look normal. It just doesn't.
Yeah, it looks hollow in the middle, but how did it look to you visually when you saw it?
Well, like I said, with my naked eye, it looks like an airplane because of relativity, right? Because of the distance and my ability to see with acuity at that distance, it looked like a plane. It had obviously it's up in the air, so the only things that are up in the air that high at that angular size are airliners. So anyone looking up, and this is what happened with me with the whole waking up process, right? I never looked up. I never thought about chemtrails ever. And I don't know if you've heard this from me before or not, but Flat Earth was my first conspiracy. I was not into anything. Flat Earth threw me into the entire gamut. So once I started looking up, I'm like, holy shit. Like if you go out today right now, I'm looking outside and I can see some nimbus clouds, right? The nice fluffy ones, right? When I was in high school, the categories for clouds were like 4. You had 4 categories of clouds. And I don't recall ever seeing 2 different kinds of clouds on the same day, right? You had one day that was temperate for a particular cloud, a nimbus, a cumulonimbus. What's the other one? Cirrus, is that one of them? Cirrus cloud, right? So you only had one kind of cloud in the sky at a time. Now you don't. Now you've got the residual of whatever they're doing up there, plus that which nature makes.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation similar to this today with somebody. I was looking up and the clouds, like you were saying, those old, fluffy, old clouds that we remember, that's what the sky was full of today.
Yeah.
As opposed to that other day when those planes were flying around, the clouds were way up high. They were in line formation.
Yeah.
That's not how clouds are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, Travis. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So again, I had never thought about that, right? I mean, I just never looked up. It's kind of like the frog in a kettle. If that's not your field, right? It's not my field to be looking up into the sky and noticing the changes. So for 30 years, I haven't thought about it. It's just what is. The water just keeps getting warmer and warmer and hotter, and you just don't notice it. And for whatever reason, at the time in my life, in August of 2017, the universe decided to hit me upside the head with a 2x4 and just totally throw me in. And I was like I'm not into aliens. I'm not into Project Bluebeam. I don't know anything about that. Now, it could have a lot of validity to it. And I think it was like Flat Earth. No, who was it? Gleam. I think it was Gleam on Ranty's show yesterday. Was saying how he had a great conversation. I think it was with I can't remember. I'm just gonna say
Flat Earth Data was there.
Yeah, maybe it
what
was.
Ali was talking about. Yeah, that was a good conversation. I heard it.
Yeah, it was all together. But what I mean is either Gleam or Flat Earth Data said that talking to Rumpus, I think it was Gleam because he was on the same time I was the other day, and you can't have a healthy conversation with Rumpus. You just can't. But Gleam,
no, that's impossible.
Yeah, but Gleam was talking about having a conversation with someone, and I think I'm just going to say Toady UK. He said, I had a conversation with Toady UK on the same stuff that I talk about with Rumpus, and it was a completely different conversation. So I don't remember how I got off on that tangent, but
Gleam is another guy I like listening to. He's very, very knowledgeable.
Oh, my word.
Like he can put me to shame with one hand tied behind his back, like easily. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about in terms of what this is going to take. It's going to take someone like Gleam, someone like Flat Earth Data, someone like Right the Hand, guys who geek out on the math. Those guys geek out on the equations and the I don't know what else to say.
The fine details. I'll read something, I'll forget the next day.
Yeah,
A guy like Gleam is like a computer. He'll remember every little nuance and
Right. So what I mean to say is it's going to take, honestly, someone who can fund or raise the funds to get someone like Gleam and someone like me and someone like somebody else and a team of people to put everything together. Because this is what I said to Rumpus the other day when I was talking to Rumpus. I said, all of your math doesn't mean anything because you've never done any field experience. You have no field experience. And that, for me, SE, is, in my opinion, is what gives me the ability to critique what's on paper. When I read the simplicity of Wikipedia, or even the simplicity of Andrew Thomas Young, and the stuff that they put out with their studies, it doesn't, in my mind, right? Unless I'm missing something, and I very well could, it doesn't match up. The stuff that I capture on my camera, when I read what they say is going on, it's two completely different worlds.
Oh yeah. Look, take example the 3959, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I got the P900 is I wanted to see for myself because I heard stories of how high were you, how far was it. I'll tell you one thing. The first observation I did, it's on my website, 11-mile bridge. Right away I was convinced that the 3959 is dead right there. I don't know what shape the Earth is, but I can tell you the radius is much larger. Because I eyeballed it with my own eyes.
Sure.
And I can say for sure now.
You dropped off, SC. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Oh, sorry. What did you last hear?
You said, I can say for sure now.
Yeah. I can say for sure now that the 3959 is dead in the water.
Yeah.
Because I eyeballed it and I could see for myself. Then I went a little further. I did a 13-mile observation. Right? And it's completely straight and flat. You can clearly see the water completely straight and flat for 13 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I
So
honestly, I don't know. I mean, the whole thing, like, okay, I used to be a Christian, right? And the whole presupposition of Christianity, when you go out to tell other people about salvation, is that it's out of your hands, right? God is the one who can open the mind of the person, open the heart of the person to be willing to accept what you're saying. So all you are a conduit of the message. So it doesn't matter how great of a speaker you are. If God doesn't open the eyes of the person that you're talking to, they're not going to believe. And so that's the same kind of idea here that we have in terms of talking about this stuff. People that we're talking to who are committed to science in the mainstream narrative, there is nothing that we can say. And I don't know what it is. You've got to be in the right place at the right time. You have got to have eaten the right meal the night before, and whatever. It's all synchronicity. But just trying to think of this whole. I don't even know how I got off on that again. I lost my train of thought. But all right. So anyway, if you want to hang tight, I'll jump around with some stuff that I've got, and we can look at it, and you can feel free to jump in.
Sure. I got about another 40 minutes before I have supper, so yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to share my screen. Let me go over here. And share screen. I watched a really good movie the other day. I mean, it wasn't like really, really good. It's not like Francis Ford Coppola good, but it was an interesting movie. It was on reality. It had Robert Redford in it, and the guy who was in How I Met Your Mother. I can't remember his name. Not Neil Patrick Harris, but the other guy. I wasn't a really big fan of his, but he did pretty good in this movie. Anyway, the whole idea was like Flatliners. It's like what happens after death. And the movie is called The Quickening. Is that what it is? No. No, I'm sorry. The Discovery. I think it's either on Netflix or Amazon. Either way, it's a good watch. And just really, really interesting in terms of reality and... what the hell? Why did I go off on that tangent? What took me over there? I think it was just basically just being open to considering that there might be something else going on that we are not really aware of. But
well, we were talking about the distances, right?
Yeah.
We're using their radius, right?
Yeah.
What they tell us, and it's indisputable that what they say we should see, we're not seeing. So there's something up right there.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what this focus is. Did you hear me talk about the focal length of the camera?
I was driving at the time, so I didn't get what you were saying, to be honest with you.
Okay, so if you haven't noticed this, or if you haven't heard anybody else say this, that when you turn on your P900 and you look through the screen at that moment, you're not seeing what you can see with your naked eye.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure, yeah.
Okay, it's actually in the negative.
Yeah, you can see further with your eye than you can when you get first view of the camera. Yeah.
Correct. And I haven't. Maybe I'll try to do that later tonight. I was going to go out again tonight to see what happens with the Chesapeake Bay. But what I'll do is I'll try to get a still image of the focal length of what I can see with my naked eye. But when you get used to your camera, SE, you'll know that when you zoom in to go as far as you can optically, you'll get a feel for how long it takes your camera to zoom in, and you'll know when it's going to stop. And that measurement in the data on your file is going to say that it's a 428 millimeter. 428 millimeters. Now, I was told by a baller, I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody like John Watson or Terry Davies. And they said, well, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right that you've got a 2,000 times zoom and it's at 4. Because, okay, maybe that's why. Because I have a DSLR camera that has a 600 millimeter zoom, and the 600 millimeter zoom falls short of the zoom that I have on the P900. But the P900 reads at 428 at full optical, which in my opinion is the 2,000 times. Unless the 2,000 times is the expression of the full digital. And you know what I mean? So when you cross over into digital, it simply is magnifying the final image at optical. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, and I figure out how to like play with it a little bit. You can get even the digital, if you know what you're doing under the right conditions, you can even get that pretty good. I don't know if you've seen the last moon thing. I know you did because you commented on it.
Yeah.
I'm actually learning and getting better. I had to put it on the user, because on the green, on the automatic,
right,
it was all blurry. All I saw was a blur.
Okay. Yeah, again, I said this earlier in my stream that I'm really lazy. So I haven't really figured out which of those settings is best for taking moonshots, but you say the U is? U?
Yeah. I did everything manually, and I got nice and crisp. Like I said, I'm still learning, so by all means, don't anybody listen to me.
No. I'm going to take that all. The next time I have an opportunity. It's been really cloudy. We had some storms the past couple days. It's full moon. But as soon as it clears up, maybe I'll try that. So the thing that bugs me about manual is that little dial that's right there by the viewfinder, right?
Yeah, the fine tuning, you mean?
Yeah, because
it shakes like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
People don't realize you can't even. Never mind sneeze. You can't even like.
I know.
The slightest vibration. I mean, wow.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing too with the aspect of relativity, right? So if you are zoomed out to what you can see with your naked eye, if you fiddle with the manual focus, you're not going to have a lot of play. But it's when you zoom in and you do click, 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 man, those clicks will jostle that viewfinder so far out of whack. But all right, so here we are looking at these images here of this is Platform Grace, and that's the Santa Cruz Island there. But you can see the haze. Can you see the haze there close to the water?
Yeah.
So this is the data says that this is 33 millimeters, of course, 33. And this is just 4 days into my 17 days out there. But this milky haze, it was just sitting there, just absolutely just horrible conditions. This is the same. You can just see the island right here, and if you pay attention, I'm gonna premiere the video that I played earlier. You can see the island just develop and creep out closer to the platform. But in the earlier part of the video, you couldn't see any of the island at all. And,
are you referring to your last video that you showed there with the thing going up and down?
No, today I played the video where you said that you liked the music.
Right.
That one.
Okay.
I'm gonna
this one makes me think of Blue. You know, when he says, "Tell me how a horizon could be in front," right? Well, there you go, Blue. I hope you were watching. See how it went up and down? That's how.
Well, but see, the thing about that, Essie, as far as I hear what you're saying, the problem with that is that everything in the field of view gets moved. The horizon rises, the platform rises, and the island in the background rises. Everything moves together. Whereas it would be more dynamic, and I don't believe that I've caught this unless it's in my footage and I just haven't gotten to it yet, which is entirely possible. What we want to see is everything in the background stay where it is visually, and the horizon is the only thing that moves up and down. That's what is going to be the game changer to make someone like Blue, take a step back and go, okay, that's crazy. But this is the same video or the same platform that Sean G used when I sent him some files and he got all giddy about proving the curve. But the thing is that this horizon line right here, if I gave Rumpus my location, this platform's location, he could tell me where this line is for him mathematically.
Okay, hold on a second here, Travis.
Go ahead.
How far is this platform?
12 miles.
And how high were you approximately?
10 feet.
10 feet. so right there, I mean, how far would you say the horizon line is here?
Well, see, that's the whole thing. It's like I don't give those guesses according to the globe Earth because.
Okay, here. Let's do it a different way. At 8 feet, according to their metabunk calculator, the horizon should be. Let's see, out of memory, should it be what 4 miles away?
Let me stop you. This is why I said earlier that this needs a crowdsource. Okay, we need like $500,000 to get a team that we can rent boats and put them out at 5 different locations. Because what I'm going to say right now is that you see where my cursor is on the screen?
Yep.
Okay, let's say that's a boat. And that boat's right there, and I'm like, okay, Captain SE, stop, you're on the horizon. And then I pan over to the next platform and I say, okay, Captain Rumpus, stop, you're right on the horizon. And then I pan over to the next one. You guys are all gonna be on a different latitude. You're not gonna be on the same line, bro.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay, so there's the only guesstimate that you can have on where the horizon is mathematical. I don't believe that you can go out onto the beach and look out on the horizon and guess what that geometric distance is. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again on my channel. I do believe that there is a geometric horizon. But you have to have a boat that you can stop as best you can where it meets that visually for you. Okay? So the geometric horizon on a flat Earth is the same thing as the apparent horizon. They're the same thing. You cannot have one and the other. You cannot have a geometric horizon and an apparent horizon on the flat Earth. They are one and the same. So it's redundant. Either call it a geometric horizon or call it the horizon or whatever. But the thing is
there's only one horizon.
There's only one horizon. Yeah, there is only one horizon. And the only way for you to verify where that is to have someone set their boat there. That's the only way. So I don't believe that on a flat Earth you can have a standard horizon.
But exactly, I'm glad you said that, because even if you do what you're saying, if you put somebody on a boat and you say stop, well, that's not their horizon, the guy on the boat. You realize that, right? That's your horizon.
Okay, stop. Say that again.
If you're on the beach, right, and you have somebody on the boat, and you do your experiment, and you
Oh,
say,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. I
stop
get you.
now,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's your horizon,
Yep.
not the person on the boat. When
Right.
he looks out, his horizon is not there.
Correct.
We agree on this, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's subjective. And if you move 1 inch up or 1 inch down, right? Or let's say a foot, you're going to have to tell that guy, okay, move a little bit further down because the horizon is going to change again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's not hard to understand. Now, when you have something to judge, when you have like an oil platform, right? Now you know how far that oil platform is, right? So this is very simple. If the platform is, let's say, 15 miles away, you're standing on the beach 6 mile, you're 6 foot high. The supposed horizon should be at 3 miles. Now, if you're looking at an oil platform which is 15 miles away, and the horizon is clearly behind that platform, I mean, nothing else needs to be said, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I see it anyways. I don't want to speak for anybody. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, the only times that I have gotten the horizon beyond the platforms is when I have raised my elevation, and I've got some great shots. It would be interesting to try to think about how you would do this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so much work to be done in this area. It has to move outside.
Travis, as far as I'm concerned, this is settled, bro.
No, I know. It's settled for me as well. But in terms of taking it into a place where there is peer review per se, right? It's almost like going to court. You know, even if you went into a corrupt system, if you wanted to clear your name, you know you're innocent, your mom knows you're innocent, your wife knows you're innocent, your kids know you're innocent, but everybody else thinks you're a pedophile. So even though you go to court and the court is corrupt, you know the evidence is so clear that anybody who sees it, who's not committed to the system, who doesn't have a conflict of interest, is going to say, this guy is innocent. This guy's totally innocent. Even though the courtroom might still pass judgment on you as guilty. So even if we get a peer review presentation of the information, I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about people who aren't necessarily interested in looking at YouTube videos, but for some reason a detailed academic presentation, they're going to go, this evidence is overwhelming, and I can completely see that this evidence proves the claim. But it's not going to happen on YouTube. It's not going to happen on these hangouts. It's just not.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to envision, like, how would you make it better than this? Like, I mean, we have an oil platform. Travis, you have the pictures yourself, bro.
I know.
I mean, it's 15 miles away.
Well, but see, okay.
The horizon is behind it.
Well, I guess the thing would be, Essie, is to say, okay, well, I have contacted Andrew Thomas Young. Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay. So he and I have had quite a number of exchanges. I have not divulged my persuasion to him. I simply contacted him as a photographer who's caught some crazy stuff, and what do you think about it? And the guy is so generous in terms of the time that he will give to you, because I'm nobody, and this guy has given me like 20 points of feedback. where he has watched my material scrupulously. He's like, I'll have to get back to you. 2 weeks later, he gets back to me. This guy, frame by frame by frame. It's crazy, right? Now, he's going to interpret that, again, according to his commitment. But I've got to try to figure out, okay, what can I say that is going to throw a wrench, without mentioning flat Earth? What can I do to address these physics to have him at least go, huh, yeah. So if you
nothing, Travis. This guy ain't gonna budge. He ain't gonna.
Well, that's okay.
Nothing.
But see, that's what I'm saying in terms of not mentioning flat Earth. Okay, right? So as long as you approach it from a pure physical standpoint, and give him a, you know, like he's not asking questions necessarily the same way we would. So is there a way for me to say, and again, I just haven't had the time. Well, I have had, but I need to go back and watch the video that you, if you remember that first time that you said, Travis, what you just showed was the ether band just coming out in full force. You remember that video?
Yeah, bro. I don't know how you can't find that video, man.
Right.
That is your meat and potato right there, bro.
Well, no, I have found it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, no.
Like,
okay,
the
listen.
Twilight Zone video. Right
Yeah. Okay, but listen. I think that we're talking about two different things, because the thing that I'm remembering that you asked me about was a boat.
It was the sailboat.
Yeah,
and
that.
You know the way you claim your ether band.
Yeah, that one.
It just disappeared uniformly, like.
Right.
Like it went into like a Star Trek phase thing, like whoop, and it just disappeared.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about the platform that had that that band of mirage that totally filled out and disappeared and came back again.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right.
That's really nice.
So I sent that one to Andrew Thomas Young, and he said something to the effect of, "This is the most dramatic mirage I've ever seen." And
oh yeah, that's an awesome effect there. I mean, it's unquestionable. Like it changes before your eyes. I mean,
yeah. But
that's one of your best captures for sure.
For sure, yeah. Well, actually, I haven't released the capture that I got this time in January. The day I was supposed to get into Baltimore, 2 days before I had made the decision that I'm not going to go back. I'm going to stay a whole nother week, and that was on a Thursday. And Saturday, when I was supposed to be landing in Baltimore, I went out again on Saturday morning. I was driving to the beach at sunrise, and as soon as I got to the point where the ocean became visible from the freeway where I was driving, I knew that I had made the right choice. I knew that I was going to see some amazing dynamic ether band, and the stuff that I have yet to show. It's like 3 days after what we're looking at right now. I still have 3 days to go through. But yeah, I've got to figure out, like, I've dropped a little bit of hints to Heath Carmody, because he's the guy that can do the stuff that I'm thinking about, because you have to do a three-dimensional presentation of this stuff. You have to do both perspective and orthographic, but the orthographic is going to be 125% manipulated, because you have to create a mirage from a side view. Right? So can you see the screen right now?
Yep, and don't forget perspective. How are you going to show perspective in side view?
Well, yeah, I know, right? It's a good question. Let me see if I can find. I guess I can see it right here. Okay. I'm trying to think. Hold on real quick. Let me pull up the file. See if I can find this file. I drew a side-on view. Total lame, you know, for me, third grade attempt at trying to depict this image. Try to see here. Is this it? All right. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So this left image is the same platform that we've been looking at this entire time. This is platform Grace. And then you have a freighter out here to the left, right?
Yep.
And you cannot see the hull at all. Now,
this is the one where Sean G was making fun of you with?
Yeah, this is where Sean G wet his pants, yeah. Had to put it nicely, right?
Yeah. Him and Erebus had a field day on this one.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that I have other images of other freighters where you can see the hull and you can see the lettering on the hull, right? I also have, like, if we were to, let's see, I'm not going to try to do this. Let's see, can I do this?
I saw this. I saw what they were doing.
Yeah. Okay, but
the boat is 300 feet. Blah blah blah. I mean, it's kind of difficult to come up with these numbers. I mean,
well, but see, you know, you can do that if you know the scale of the ship. You can pretty much say what that is, what the dimensions are, right? Okay, but you see this little rectangle, right, or this little square right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if those are cargo if those are containers like a tractor trailer pulls, it's like a 53-foot trailer, 53-foot container, right?
Yep.
How many of those fit in this right here? Could you tell me?
Yeah, there's some big slots there, exaggeration. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't. How can you really, like, it's distorted? It's. I know Sean went to great length. He found the boat. He found the distance, but still, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's my point. This is where, to me, that image is magnified. So if you can look and see the space between what you would consider. Hold on, I'm just responding to. I guess I could do it visually or audibly. Addie, are you talking to me? Are you asking about my email address? I'm gonna put it in. Rethink the curve. rethinkthecurve@gmail.com. Okay, Addie, if you're talking to me, there's some stuff. Send me that stuff. Thanks. Okay, so you've got this little square right here. Now, the space between this rectangle here, like, Sean is so confident. I would say, Sean, what's the angular size of that space right there? He would have to be able to tell me. Because he's telling me he knows everything else about this ship. Okay, so you see that little space there where you can see the sky? How big is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's blurry. It's. I don't know if you can really bet the bank on an image like this.
Okay.
You know?
All right. So now let's go to where I was talking about before. Let me zoom in a little bit right here. Okay. So, oops, that's too much. Okay. So I'm going to start over here. So this is my hypothesis. Okay. Everything here in this field of view is affected by the medium through which we're looking, the aether band. Okay, everything here. This is air temperature, this is water temperature, this is wind, this is barometric pressure, whatever the hell we might not, magnetism, electromagnetism.
Let's talk the distance. Let's talk the distance too, so people can know what we're looking at here.
Okay, well, but see that we've kind of touched on it already before. We know that this, well, according to Google, this platform is about 12 miles out. Okay?
Okay.
And according to the shipping lanes, this is about anywhere from, I would say, 15 to 17 miles out. Okay, so you have to think proportionally here. That is that if this is 12 miles and this is, let's put it in the middle at 16 miles, there's 4 miles difference between these two objects. Now, where is the pied de resistance, right? The clincher here is where this line is, where this horizon is. Now, Sean and everybody else, Rumpus, can tell me mathematically, I'm 10 feet high. This is 12 miles away. Where is the horizon? Mathematically, boop, 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 boop. X, Y, Z, right here. But the only way that you can validate that is to get someone out there and set them right there. Otherwise, your equation is still a guess. Now, I'm going to say that I don't even know what to say. Okay, so if you're looking at the platform here and you're looking at the horizon, the question becomes, Essie, do you think the platform is at the horizon? I mean, because it looks like it is, right? I mean, look, you've got the horizon, you've got the platform, boop, touching the horizon.
That's what it looks like to me, but
Looks
it's
like
hard
it.
to tell. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Looks like it. Now, the thing that's going to tell me that it's not is when you have swells that are going up and blocking it. The other thing...
I would like to see the video on this to be more, because, you know, like one snap. I mean,
Sure. No.
It could be a swell. It could be many things.
Sure. Now, I mean, I do have video of these instances where the swells do come up. Like you can see this little part right here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have other times where the weather was so boisterous that the swell comes up, touches it, and goes down. Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. So that tells you right there that thing's not going underwater, right? That is not where the platform is touching the physical water. So this line is closer to me than this platform. But I don't know where this is. Now, the other thing...
You know what I would say looking at this picture, Travis? I would say I wouldn't look at anything. I wouldn't care about the boat. I would say, look, or even you can even take the boat into account. I would say I'm standing on the beach at 8. You said 8 feet.
10.
Okay, I would go to their metabug thing and I would say around 4 feet, 4.5 feet. I would say, look, that horizon is at least 12 miles. So your 39.59 is bye-bye. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mess with the rest of the stuff.
All right. Well, let me go through my idea here and see what you think of it. So what we have here again is a visual representation in 3D of what's going on. The Aether band is affecting this entire field of view. It's affecting how the water appears, it's affecting how the platform appears, and it's affecting how the freighter appears. These are all 3 different distances, and as well the island here that's in the back. Okay. Now, what's interesting is in other videos I have other freighters that come by this, and the top of the freighter is higher than the platform. Okay, now what that means is that the freighter would have to be closer. So what about the shipping lane, right? Like how much leeway do they have in that shipping lane? If it's if this shipping lane is out at 15 to 17 miles away, so let's just say, for instance, that this boat is 16 miles away from me. Does it have a flexible shipping lane? Could it be at 13 miles? Could it be at 18 miles? Or does it have to be either 15, 16, or 17 miles? That is, you can't get closer to the shore than 15 miles. Let's just say. So, however tall these ships are, I don't even know. How high are these ships going to be? Let's say, what, 100 feet? Let's say 100 feet. If this... Go ahead.
I think I remember Sean saying a few hundred feet, 200-300 feet. It's been a while. I can't really remember.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm just talking just in terms of the idea, okay? Let's say that this platform is 150 feet high. If this, let's say this is 200 feet, in order for this to be higher than this, it's going to have to be sitting right on top of it.
It's going to have to be closer, yeah.
Because if it's 2 or 3, 4 miles away, that's going to diminish its angular size. But I have video of other, not this one, I'm saying other. I have other freighters that are higher than the platform.
Yeah, but we have to find distances and,
I know. Yeah, I know.
That's why it's like...
okay, so here's
all speculation here.
Yeah, I agree. But it's...
like that boat don't look like a boat to me. It looks like it looks like, I don't know, little boxes up in the,
Sure. Well, yeah, but see, the whole thing is this is not only, this is this, and again, Rumpus, Andrew Thomas Young, both of these guys, they don't believe the magnification happens three-dimensional. They think it only happens horizontal or vertical. They don't think it happens to both at the same time. It's either one or the other. But you can see right here in the middle of this box, at least from what it looks like to me, that's the corner. Because you've got a lighter shade here and a darker shade here. So this side right here is in the sun. This side is not. But what I said before was, how many 53-foot containers fit in this spot right here? And is this then scaled to what that should be angular size? I honestly don't believe you could ever get close to that because of the refraction that's happening. You just cannot gauge. You cannot. You just, it's just...
It's impossible. It's not. They look at this picture and they say, look, proof, it's behind the curve. Right?
Yep, that's it.
I look at this picture and I see a bunch of hazy boxes.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, there's no proof here. There's no on either side. I mean, there's just a picture.
Right. Well, but see, that's where my hubris comes in and says I'm your Copernicus, because I'm trying to say this. This line right here has been refracted up. So imagine what Rob Skiba did with his distortion, where he put that magnifying, what is it called? He had like a screen. He had like a screen that he put on the table.
Yeah.
Right?
I seen what you're saying, yeah.
Okay. So you have that magnification that distorts the image, okay? So you have to understand that we are in this image right here, Essie, this is my position. This whole image is being looked at through a screen. And the screen is raising up the water.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Okay, so here's what I mean over here. So now this is the orthographic view. Okay, so over here, you can't see me, right? I'm the one looking through the camera. And there's distance between me and the platform. And this water is raised up, not only prospectively. There's perspective going on here, but the thing that throws perspective out of the works is the screen of refraction. Okay, so we have a multiplicity of distances here, because the farther away my mouse is going on this ocean, That's distance, right?
I think I see what you're saying now. You're saying, in addition to the perspective, which we know automatically raises
Correct.
the water, right?
Yes.
And then if anything else, a hallway, whatever, we all know how perspective works. You're saying,
Yes.
in addition to the perspective, you're adding the ether band effect at the end of it.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure. And then for those that get triggered with ether band, just call it atmospheric effect, call it refraction.
Right, right. And this is what I've said. Okay, look, atmospheric refraction. Atmospheric refraction. That's 7 syllables. Ether band is 3. Same thing. If you want to say,
I'm just saying it because they get triggered.
I know. But if you want to say 7 syllables, then say atmospheric refraction. But it's the same thing. Ether band's the same thing. It's just a shorter term. Not only that, it narrows the focus. We are talking specifically about this phenomenon, whereas atmospheric refraction, you could be talking about something completely different. But the ether band is talking about this in particular. Okay. Now, here's the side-on view. Here's the platform. Here's the ship. Here's me and the beach. Okay? So here's the physical water. This light blue right here. This light blue is the physical water. That physical water does not raise an elevation. It's flat the whole way across, or it's horizontal, whatever you want to say. Okay, I know that there are waves, blah blah blah. However, with perspective and the ether band, this water right here, this light blue, gets ramped up to a point right here whose distance we do not know. Now, going back here, SE, this horizon could be 5 miles away, bro. It could be 7 miles away. It could be 10 miles away. We don't know. So if I were to scale this, right, this platform we know is 12 miles away from the beach, right? It's 12 miles.
Yep.
But the horizon is between me and the platform. We don't know where this is. We don't know.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
So
yeah.
So if you think about it this way, I mean, this is totally abstract, right? This line here could physically be right here. I just don't know. It could be physically right here. Now, I just made this for the sake of the presentation. But my point is that the ether band is magnifying, is refracting the surface of the water up, and at this point is where the obstruction happens. And therefore, I only see this much of the platform. I only see this much of the ship. But it's all...
that's plausible.
It's all refracted. It's not real.
I don't see a problem with that.
I don't either. But it's gonna... we have to take it out of this stupid 5th grade diagram done by Travis Finlay on the Plain Truth channel, right? We've got to take it out of here, and we have to get validation, right, on different days and different times during that day, because this horizon in 5 hours could be right here, or it could be right here, right? The theodolite thing. The theodolite. If you took a theodolite, if I had a theodolite with me right now, while I was taking this image, and I marked out where this horizon was, in 5 hours, it could be higher. It could be lower.
Oh yeah, there's no question about that. You showed that with your last video.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's there's no question about it.
Yeah, I agree.
The horizon is a visual effect, and it's separate from every observer. It's as simple as that.
And not only that, but again, if I were to look over to the other three platforms in this cluster of G platforms, this is Grace. There's Gilda. There's Grace, Gilda, Gina, and somebody else. I can't remember for some reason. The horizon would be different at each one. But if you think on a ball, this line is going to be the same location, whatever your field of view is. If you were to look, okay, let's say that this is straight ahead. At what angle? I don't know how you would put that angle. Let's put it at 0, right? It's straight ahead, right? Okay?
Yep.
So if I looked at 45 degrees and that was the next platform, and I have a boat here on this horizon, and I have a boat at the horizon at the other platform at 45 degrees, they are not going to be at the same distance. That's my prediction. If I'm going to make a prediction, I would predict that. Those boats, so it could be farther away or it could be closer. But visually, as I'm looking across my field of view, this line looks like it's just a horizontal line. But I've seen so much crazy stuff going on that at Gina, when stuff's going on at Gina, and Gina is in an inferior mirage, and stuff is going on crazy going on, this one is not at an inferior mirage. Nothing's going on here. It's a completely different scenario. It's a different phenomenon because the angle of the sun is different. This is at a different location. The temperature of the water, the temperature of the air, the barometric pressure. You can't look at Gina. Let me pull up. Hold on. Let me pull up my. All right, so you've got Gina, Gale. Here's Gale. That's the other one. So you've got Gina here, you've got Gale here, you've got Gilda, and you've got Grace. Okay? And if I'm here at this location and I'm looking at Gina, okay, the morning when I captured the Fata Morgana going on here, there was no Fata Morgana here. There was no Fata Morgana here. There was no Fata Morgana here, and these are the these are the H platforms over here. Okay, it was only happening here. And if I'm looking out at the platform Grace here, and let's say I put a boat. Say I put a boat. Let's do this. Let's say I put a boat here at 9 miles. Let's say I'm going to bring it in. Let's say in that diagram that I drew, the measurement to the horizon was 8 miles. Let's say, okay. If I moved this way, look at I'm already now at 8.5 miles. And if I move this way, you know, whatever. It's hard to, like, if you were able to do this perfectly on like a projector or a compass.
Bro, make it simple. Every foot or so you move, it changes.
Yeah, but
it's as simple as that.
No. The horizon and Gilda. Okay? And let's say I put a boat right here. Now, as I moved over to look at what's going on with Gilda, I've changed the whole dynamic here. If I put a boat at 10 miles at Gilda, it's not going to be the same horizon. That's my prediction. And then if I'm looking at platform Gale, the horizon is going to be different for platform Gale. And if I put a ship at the horizon at platform Gale, it might be 12 miles away. If I put a horizon at platform Gilda, it might be 8 miles away. The horizon isn't a uniform line all the way across. That's my prediction. But see, the thing is,
from your perspective, you're saying, right?
Well, I don't think that from my perspective depends upon the physical location of a boat on the horizon. Okay, I would not create a mathematical expression and say this is reality without putting a boat like on the same day. I would have to have, let's just say, 5 boats. One for platform Gina. Let's say I put a boat out on this one and it's 8.6 miles away. That's where, from this position, when I see the boat here, I say stop, and he stops. And then when I'm looking out at the Anacapa Island on the same day, same 15 minutes, the horizon for the Anacapa Lighthouse is different, and it might be at 17 miles away. And I put a boat right there. And then for Gale, it might be at 12 miles away. And each one of these, I'm going to put a boat on the horizon. But from my location, and I say, okay, Grace Captain, Gilda Captain, Gale Captain, Anacapa Captain, Gina Captain, give me your distance from me right now. They are all going to be a different distance. But they're all going to look like they're on the same horizontal.
Oh, now I see what you're saying. Okay. Interesting. I would have to see that to believe it.
That's my working hypothesis. That's crazy abstract, but I'm glad that you said that. So if you keep that in the back of your mind, SE, and see if there's a better way that I can say that, or if there's a way that we can put that to make some sense, that would be very, very helpful.
That's I don't know about this one, Travis. This one is a little. I can't see how that would be possible.
I could completely be wrong, could totally be wrong, but it's kind
like
of
just thinking of it like this abstractly from the top view. I mean, if you're at the same spot and they're at different geographical locations, if the horizon appears the same to you, that's going to be one dancing horizon there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, so look, this is what I would say, and maybe I would. Okay, so here's an interesting thing, SE. When I was in California in January, I had 2 cameras. So I set up one camera on platform Gina, and I set up one camera on the Anacapa Island, and I pushed record. I would have to find a file where both cameras were recording the same period of time. If the refractive phenomenon that was happening at Gina isn't happening at the Anacapa Lighthouse, right?
I see how you're looking at it now. Okay. I see how you're looking at it.
Okay. Now.
Right.
Okay. Right now. Look. So let's do this again. Here's me standing at the Rincon campground. I look out. There's one horizon. I look out to the Anacapa Island. I'm looking at Gina. I see one horizon. I follow that horizon, and boom! I hit the Anacapa Island. That's the same horizontal for me, but it's not the same distance.
Yeah, that kind of like doesn't make sense there. Like, yeah,
it's all one straight line.
It may be are you saying that it appears when you look at it? That's how it appears because you have observations that, and I've seen those observations. What you're saying, it appears that the islands are faded out in the back. They're broken up, and I see what you're saying. Is that what you mean?
I'm comfortable to say yes to a certain extent. I know that it's very abstract, but I guess basically, if you simply looked out, let me see if I can do this. I would have to find a wide angle I would have to find a wide angle. Oh, let me do this. Is this here? All right. We have one horizon. Right?
Right.
Okay. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't think this is going to do... I think I need a wider angle. I need a wider angle. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Hold on real quick. Sorry. Give me a second. I mean, you know, conceptually, you've heard what I've said, and you had a light go on for you. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. I see what you're saying. Just trying to...
I see what you're saying. I understand it, but you're gonna have to test it and like actually show a visual of that.
Yeah, it's gonna have...
Because I know refraction does some crazy things.
Yeah. Trying to think of where I thought I had a couple of I can't find it. I had one in mind where it was a broad yeah, I can't get it. I can't think of what I was remembering. All right.
You're trying to find a wide angle view of those conditions.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a wide angle view that has the horizon for
multiple distance things with the horizon.
Right.
But even in the one you showed there, you saw that even though there was one horizon, I can't believe I'm saying this, the mountain in the back looked like it was further. No? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Refraction stuff and haze and fog does some weird shit.
This one, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see where you have the horizon line drawn, right? Would that be the bottom where the arrow is?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the physical. Well, yeah, that's the horizon.
That's the observable horizon.
Correct.
Let's say.
Yeah.
Now, clearly, where you have the right box in the back where the island is, clearly that island is behind that. No.
Farther away. Yep.
So, I mean, that's why I say these pictures are the only thing that makes sense to me would be the oil platforms that you have. We know the distance. Find a clear day. Boom, the horizon is behind it. End of story. 3959 is dead. But I know you're arguing it from the ether angle. This is what you're trying to show.
Sure.
I get that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why our voices, you know, what you just said is different than what I'm saying, but it's actually it's closely related at the same time. You know, they both have they both have to be said. But it's so abstract to try to think through. So here it is. Is this it? This was one of it. Okay, hold on real quick. Okay. Now, this is what I can see with my naked eye. Okay? This is one horizon. Now, for the sake of argument, this boat looks like it's right on the horizon. I mean, you can't zoom in because it distorts the image. There's no, you can't like clear it up. This isn't like Blade Runner where you zoom in on something and it totally resolves everything and makes it look like it should if you were standing right next to it. But for the most part, this boat is right on the horizon. Okay?
From your perspective, yeah.
Right? Now, as I'm going along the line right here, you would like to think, I suppose, that that is the same lateral distance all the way. And I'm telling you, it's not. This could be farther out. So if you had...
I see what you're saying, yeah.
But you can't tell.
Yeah, there's no way to tell. Like I said, with pictures, you can just make assumptions.
You know, so whatever. So this, I think that this is Gilda. Yeah, let's see. All right, so Gilda is. So I'm looking at. I'm at this beach right here. I'm looking at Gilda because there's nothing behind her. Okay, there's no island. So I'm looking straight ahead at Gilda. Let me do this. So this is 10 miles, okay? So... Alright, so this is Gilda. She's 10 miles away from me. Okay? Now, how far away is she from the horizon? Right? We don't know. But if I had a way to talk to this captain, he could give me his coordinates and tell me I'm on this degrees north, this degrees west, or whatever. But I would have to have someone right here on this line in front of this platform and give me the exact same coordinates. Because that's what
I see what you're saying.
Because that's what this line looks like. This line looks like it's the same lateral distance all the way across. It's just like this is just like the floor of a this is just like this is the floor of a house, and this is the wall. Wherever this meets, that's the same distance from you all the way across. It's lateral.
Yeah. Well, look, we could even make this statement: the horizon, the apparent horizon, what you see is what you say a straight line, but it's just one is farther and looks smaller, and one is closer and looks bigger. That's all it could be. That's one explanation.
Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right, so what's for dinner?
Yep, I'm I'm gonna order a pizza. So it's time. I already passed my time. I'm starving.
Yeah,
I think it's pizza night tonight.
Yeah, I got a pizza at one of my truck stops. Not the truck stop. There's a stop that I have, and there's a local mom and pop Italian restaurant, like just a 2-minute walk away. And I ordered.
You're working now?
No. This is a couple days ago.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah. But
well, Travis, I'm glad to see that you're back on, bro. And one day at a time, especially with the family stuff. I'm very familiar with that. When kids are at that age, they're torn between two parents. You have to understand. I've been through that. It's hard on them too. Just give it time, bro. When they grow older, they're gonna see what time it is. That's the only advice I can give.
I hear you, and that's
just be there for them, no matter what.
Yeah.
Never badmouth mom in front of them.
Yeah.
And that's the best advice I can give you. One day at a time.
Yep. I agree 100%.
You will be vindicated in the future if you play your cards right.
All right, I appreciate that, SC.
Oh, that's the truth, bro.
All right, so last thing, what do you get on your pizza?
What am I gonna get on my pizza? I'm gonna order from Pizza. So when I order from there, I usually go like double pepperoni, double cheese, extra sauce.
Are you talking about Little Caesars?
No. We have a thing here called Pizza.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of similar.
Okay, yeah. There's a store here in the States called Little Caesars, And
We have that as well. We have that here too.
okay, yeah, yeah. But their commercial at the end of it, he goes pizza, pizza.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard it. Maybe that's where they got it from. I don't know, but
Maybe.
it's pretty tasty.
All right, man. Oh, I got to get up out of this chair. Maybe let's see, what time is it? It's 6:30. Yeah, so if I get my stuff together and go walk down, I'll get some late dusk footage. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Good stuff, bro. One day at a time. And listen, come on more often, man.
I know.
I'm sure we're gonna get more people on.
I would
today
love
was
to.
just one of those days, you know.
Sure, sure. Yep, yep. All right.
All right, nice talking to you. Nice talking with everybody, and have a good one.
All right, we'll talk to you later, SE. Take care.
Later.
All right. So I am getting hungry as well, and yeah, interesting stuff. So abstract. All right, well, if you're listening back to this and anything that has been said sparks a thought in your brain, then feel free to let me know and maybe participate in this with some constructive criticism or some ideas of your own. And I will put my email address in the description. I think it's already there, actually, but I'll check and make sure it's still there. But all right, yeah, welcome back. This has been another exciting adventure of The Plain Truth. I have been your host, Travis Finley. Until next time.